Hey everyone, and welcome to Wanderbot Tries Waves. It's a twin-stick shooter made by the game company Squid-in-a-Box. I don't know if they've ever released any other titles, but that's kind of an interesting studio name, and we'll roll with it because I like it. Now, Waves is a twin-stick shooter, very Geometry Wars in style, which is kind of cool. It's got a kickin' chiptunes soundtrack, and it also has an ambient mode, which I might touch on depending on how far I get in the game, but more or less it's a score attack twin stick shooter. Very generic, very pleasant if you want to just sit back and watch things explode. So without further ado, I'm gonna make things explode. Now, one thing I didn't show, but this game has a really sassy how to play section, which I kind of enjoyed. So this game already has points for character, and quite honestly, it's pretty. Like, the effects of the main ball rolling around, the enemies moving around, it is Geometry Wars, just a different style and a better soundtrack by my opinion. Now, two things that set this game apart is, I don't know if you can hear it every once in a while, but it will say bomb ready, at which point you press the left trigger button to fire off a bomb. You also have a combo multiplier, pickups, and level ups, which I don't exactly know what they do, but I'll just roll with it. Now, the other thing that you get, and here, I'm going to let the enemies spawn for a bit. Now, since this game is a combo system, you want to have the best combo system ever. But the first thing to note... Oh, I died already. Anyway, the other thing to note, other than the bomb, is you can go into slow-mo mode, which is mad useful. So, the real trick is to run around, let the enemies spawn, but not too much because then they murder you. Oh, and I just died again. Yeah, so you don't want too many enemies to spawn because then it's just too much to handle. So you just give it a couple seconds, then you lay into them so you can maintain a consistent combo without dying too much. And then I think every time you level up, your overall score multiplier will boost as well. So, it also shows you on the right, if any of your other friends have this game, it will show you your highest friend's score. So right there it says War, who I guess has played this game before, I don't know. But I've played this level once before, and as far as I can tell, a score of 300,000 is not very hard to attain. So I think I should be able to beat him, if not on this this playthrough, definitely on the second one. I think this time those first couple of deaths screwed me over a bit, but things do get a lot more hectic as you go along. The one problem is in slow-mo mode, your bullets do move super slowly. So you're... Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, there, I died. Your bullets move super slowly, so it's best to use slow-mo mode when they're up close and personal, or you already have a bunch of bullets flying on the field. And like I said earlier, as you continue on through the mode, the enemies get faster at spawning and moving and attacking you, because some of them will shoot little projectiles at you, but if you die, it resets the spawn counter. But overall, I seem to have done fairly well this round. I beat my friend's high score pretty soundly, and this game has a pretty good soundtrack. Yeah, if you notice, my previous high score was 320,000. I managed to beat it by 320. Yeah, I beat it by 180,000. So, before we go on to a different game mode, I'm gonna switch the audio to ambient mode. Whoops, because that's kind of a neat little addition they have. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot interesting in the controls. I will point out that this game does suffer from slight video slowdown. I'm running it at 720p, but the bloom and distortion effects are practically necessary for a... Here, let's see, what do we have? But the bloom and distortion effects are really important for having the full experience, which is kind of disappointing. But we've got a time limit rush thing and bombing run, where you pick up Bob's red pads and drop them on the green pads to trigger a controlled explosion of death. I don't feel like that, so let's go with rush and see what goes from there in ambient mode, which sounds like most of the only real difference is when I destroy something, it makes little chimey noises instead of, you know, explosions or anything like that, which is actually kind of a neat little mode. I think the ambient mode was actually added with a later section of the game as part of a patch with a couple other modes attached, but I've never played this game before, so I can't really comment on what really changed. But I think at this point, development on this game has slowed to a crawl, if not stopped, because I assume they've moved on to larger and better projects. At least I would hope. But rush mode is a lot more frenetic, there are a lot more enemies spawning in, and one thing I will point out is you can roll your right stick in this one to kind of more or less do a rolling suppressive fire, but it's not as good as, say, Beat Hazard if you've ever played. I have no idea if that's an enemy or not, so I'm just going to stay the hell away from it, because I do not trust it. But yeah, looks like the cubes are totally evil, and I will just avoid them as best as possible. But let's see if I can just charge this and get it with a bunch of slow-mo for points. Yeah, that was good. Oh. Lots of things to avoid, lots of particle effects to more or less distract you from your, you know, inevitable demise. But if you feel like you're surrounded a little bit, you can do the control stick roll, and it should keep a lot of enemies away from you. But that's only when you're surrounded. It's best to try and shoot the enemies when they're coming at you from one direction. So dying in this mode reduces your time by about 10 seconds. And slowly the clock will count down, so you can't keep this up indefinitely. But if you're good at it, you can more or less keep going for a fairly long time, because every time you kill an enemy, it gives you a little bit extra time. And it also boosts your score. Let's see. And I think the higher your combo is, the more of a... crap, I was going for the combo... Come on, got it? Nope, didn't get it. But yeah, I was trying to go for the combo multiplier and I got greedy. But this is ambient mode, which actually feels like a distraction almost. I was expecting ambient mode to have, you know, kind of a nice down-tempo feel, and instead just the enemies fire off. Well, when I fire off shots at the enemies and they blow up, they make little piano chimes, which, you know, not bad, but not particularly great either. But one of the major draws, I would say, for this game is the really impressive chiptune soundtrack. Oh, that's it for that one. So, if you can hear it in the background, which you definitely should be able to, the soundtrack is amazing. That's practically the reason why I bought this game in the first place. I think it was included in an Indie Royale bundle, and I haven't seen it on anything else. It is on Steam, if that's something that you truly care about. This is Bomb Run, by the way, so I don't exactly know. Okay, so you grab the bomb from there, and then you roll it onto the green pad to blow things up. But you have a limited time before it goes and explodes you instead. So the best is more or less just to run from one pad to the next and take out the enemies every single time. I'm sure there's a little bit more depth of strategy to this, but... Oh, and the timer at the top is how long you have before the bombs blow up on you. And I guess you have a limited amount of lives, too. Ooh, that was stressful. I shouldn't wait too long. This is cool. This is not what I was expecting from Bomb Rush, but... very stressful. Oh, no. Yeah, very stressful. The enemies start coming at you with extreme haste, which... not... Oh, there's no green pad over there. Where is it? Oh, got it. Okay. So, yeah, I think the soundtrack has about 10 different songs before you run out. Oh, I am in trouble here. I'm in a lot of trouble. Also, if you notice, the different colored enemies have different behaviors that was in no way good for me. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I don't think Bomb Rush is my kind of thing. It is no longer a twin-stick shooter. It is more of a super stressful survival mode. But, yeah, as I was trying to say, the different colored enemies have different styles of movement. So the purple ones move slowly, the yellow ones will more or less sprint and home at you. The pink ones will just roll in circles. The small yellow ones will more or less do the exact same thing, but there are multiple ones of them. I think you can also go into slow-mo mode and bomb mode, yeah. But I'm not sure how particularly necessary that is. It feels more like it's just there because they didn't feel like taking it out, and or to just give you a little bit of leeway if you're trying to maneuver around enemies. Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy, I don't think I'm gonna get that one though.
Connection lost. Game over.
So, Bomb Rush mode, not nearly as easy. Honestly, not nearly as fun, though it is definitely kind of a unique little extra thing. Let's see. So, chase mode. Apparently even more stressful because you have 5 seconds to live and have to touch the pad to boost your time up by a little bit. And I guess you can shoot as part of this. Oh. And if you are not paying attention and miss the pad, you pretty much screw yourself over almost immediately. But I guess it resets you back to about 5 seconds every single time. And as a nice little addition, you can shoot as part of it, but most of the enemies will block your path, which, oh boy, I guess that's it for me. The red pad, yeah, oh, I managed it somehow. I have no idea how. But if you lose track of the red thing, it feels like this could have an indicator on the side where the red part is going to be, because I did not see it there. And then the enemies block your path super fast, and you don't have the time or the direction to shoot them away. Uh-oh. Yeah, those hexagon things will slowly cover the map, which is frustrating. Wow, this is a lot harder than I wanted it to be. But I guess that's kind of the point of twin-stick shooters. They're not meant to be easy. I think there's an enemy lying in wait right in the middle of that one, ready to destroy me and make me feel bad about myself. Oh, I think this is going to be one of those where I run out of time. Yep. So, I think those are the major modes of Waves? Waves. Yeah, for a second I was thinking Fractal. No, I already played Fractal. Yeah, so those are the major modes of Fractal. The last one is Survival, and we're not going to show that off. Well, I'll just do Survival while I finish my thoughts. But I guess this is, you have 3-4 lives and just go until you stop. But Waves is a twin-stick shooter at its finest. Very smooth controls, very simple in execution, and honestly, perfect if you're into this sort of thing. There are definitely better ones out there, but if you want a change of pace and a change of music, I would definitely recommend it. I think I will actually do a Beat Hazard run using the Wave soundtrack, because I think it would be perfect for it. But would I recommend this game on its own? Maybe not. I'm not sure what the price tag is. But again, it's a really good twin-stick shooter if you're into that kind of thing. But if it comes bundled with something, I would definitely check it out, if only for the soundtrack, if not more, because it plays well. It just doesn't feel like it's going to have particularly high replay value for me. There's no progression level. Yeah. Was not paying attention. But yeah, there's no progression. You don't feel like you're getting rewards for it. And it's got kind of the old style high score setup, but that's only particularly useful if you actually have friends that play this sort of thing. And I don't know if you can see by my top score ranking, but I only had one friend with any sort of high score at all listed on the site, which, you know, it would be kind of interesting to see what global scores are available for each of these modes, but at the same time, I don't think I'd particularly care, given the fact that I'm not that well... Okay, good. Yeah, I'm not that well talented at twin-stick shooters, and when it comes down to it... Okay, cool. Yeah, you get a bomb every time your combo system goes up to 10. So, yeah, those hexagon setups are most effectively taken out by bombs. The one disappointment I do have with this game is that it doesn't have much for an interesting, like... Killed myself. Yeah, it doesn't have a very interesting power-up system. You pretty much just get a bomb at every... I just wandered into my death. But yeah, it doesn't have a developed combo system, and it doesn't have really any power-ups, so you don't feel like there's really any variety apart from just the way the enemies come at you. But they're all kind of pre-programmed with set tactics, so it's not even particularly unique every time you play. So, as I said, I wouldn't recommend this game on its own. It's good, but I would recommend at least trying to pick up the soundtrack if you're really into chiptunes, because chiptunes, this game has an amazing soundtrack. Yeah, so let's see what the... Oh, it doesn't even show the global leaderboards. But yeah, so this has been Waves. Wonderful twin-stick shooter as far as everything goes, but not a particularly replayable game. So, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the matter. Kind of a resounding, play it if you want, play it if you like twin-stick shooters, but I don't think I will be picking it up again. I've already seen what it has to offer, and, you know, it offered maybe about 20 minutes worth of content for me. So, this has been Wanderbot trying out Waves, and I hope you guys have a great day. See ya.